Happy Wednesday evening, everyone. Here to give you an update on the latest on what's going on out there in the weather community so far. We have a lot of things that we have to catch up on today. We have the tropics that are having the possibilities. Many questions are being wondered right now. Areas of southeastern Louisiana, as we have that potential track that we're going to be dealing with, as well as the potential of flooding across the board for millions on the East Coast. If you're watching this video right now, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Share this with the person you may know, and let's get right into it. Momentarily, I think we're going to get our update here from the National Hurricane Center. As of right now, actually, this is our 5 p.m. update. According to Weatherfront right now it's, I guess we're at 46 miles per hour. So this storm, that cone, as you can see there, it's right now in areas of New Orleans, just south of New Orleans. It's made landfall already. We are looking at the possible track. Somewhere along the line, this storm will die out, but we're looking at that northerly track. You're going to areas of Houston. It would be a storm that dies out, but then you also have this dip down right here. Now, we have a few things that are still possible with us. I just wanted to give you the possibility. I'm not saying it's going to happen. This is why I want this whole area to be on alert. Corpus Christi and whatnot. As you get into areas of Houston, you need to be on alert as well. As you get into this area, this storm very well just south of New Orleans could go down just like this, intensify. We're not expecting it to intensify. In fact, we're expecting it to die off. The storm would probably just dissipate at this point, but we are going to give you the possibility. I'm going to give you the possibility because it's something that could happen. I just want to inform you on that. If your area south of New Orleans, as you can see, this storm could very well strengthen as we get into right into this section right here in the areas of the Gulf. If no wind shear or nothing like that bothers it, and then we get into areas like Corpus Christi, then we could be talking about maybe a hurricane that'll be on our hands. But that's a topic that we're going to have to try to figure out here. So currently we have this cone right here. This is where the center can go. So the center taking that southward track and then that northward track is a possibility on so many levels here, as you can see. So we have an area of water and we have an area of no water in which the storm could take on land. The longer, not really going to be. Now, this is really like wetlands areas, you can see, as we get into swampish areas and things of that nature, as we are in this area right here. So that storm is really not going to be able to die off that much in this certain part. Now, we could have another landfall, as we talked about before, in areas of Texas. Now, here's a look at our flood threat. As you can see, we have a flood threat for New Orleans and Pensacola and things like that of that nature. Now, before I get to the flood threat, let's look at satellite, see what's going on here. And as you can see, once again, look, and as you can see, this storm is monster when it comes to cloud cover. Cloud cover being to the south, and I'm going to tell you why that cloud cover is all to the south. As you can see, we have our low pressure is right here. Look at all of this space. This is shower and thunderstorm activity clouds that are being in this area, in the areas of the Gulf, as you can see here. Just look at that. Showers and thunderstorm. Look at all of that cloud, and the center of rotation seems to be right into this area right here. So this is just a lot is happening here, as you can see. So we sort of have a front moving in this direction, if I'm not mistaken. We have a front that's going on right here that you can't really see on your screen. Going to be having that front that's going to be moving through. And really, this northern side of the storm, we're just getting this cloud cover. This is from my understanding. We have this front moving through, and then you have this shower and thunderstorm activity. We've been seeing this the entire time with this storm, so that front probably could be the reason of that. Flooding, on the other hand, as you can see these clouds, and we're having actual bands, just a little few showers and thunderstorms, gusty showers and thunderstorms. Georgia putting that special weather statement that I'll show on the screen in just a second. Getting bands, as you can see, the clouds, but we also have a flood threat that is going to be appearing for this part of the country. As we have our storm, the flood threat will be possible as we get into areas just like that. So as we look at our HRRR model, and the HRRR model is ahead of time right now. So is it ahead of time? I think it is ahead of time. Yeah. HRRR, we're just not at the right moment. So look, as you can see, let me just rewind that and look at it. It re-strengthens. That's what the latest HRRR just showed us, and that's what I'm talking about, the possibility of it going down, being able to intensify. 998 millibar, and then it goes back out. So this storm could very well re-strengthen if it were to take that water path and do all of the things necessity to become that stronger tropical storm. But eventually it'll go into Texas and it'll die. So this is not a major hurricane situation. We're not seeing like a devastation thing, which is a very good thing. We don't want to see any devastation. We see showers and thunderstorms. Mainly, all the severe weather is to the south, which is, I mean, really perfect right now, as of right now. Not anybody dealing with the shower and thunderstorm activity. Like, everybody's dealing with the shower and thunderstorm activity, but not the severe shower and thunderstorm activity. That is in the water, as everybody else on land is getting some of that shower and thunderstorms. And it's better to have those showers and thunderstorms rather than this whole southern side of the storm just showing a sloppy disaster there. So if we get to the latest run of the GFS model, as you can see here, the GFS, this is our 12Z. I think we can actually switch to the 18Z. We haven't loaded all the way with that, but we might as well just give it a try. This is the 18Z of the GFS. Moving on across areas of New Orleans, getting back out there in the water, re-strengthening again. These were models. These are just the new models that are coming in. And remember, that hasn't loaded all the way yet, but these are new models coming in. Seems like we're starting to agree on the fact of this storm possibly re-strengthening, going back out to water, and just things like that of that nature. So if we look at our Euro model, Euro does the same. It goes back out, re-strengthens, and going to Houston. So the thing is, when it re-strengthens, where in this area of Texas is it going to go? And it looks like we have the possibility, I'm not going to say, because it could be very well a tropical depression. We don't necessarily get that second landfall into Texas. It'll just be just showers and thunderstorms. That is very well a possibility. But I'm just saying, we're looking at this track. We're seeing if the possibility of this storm could go into areas of Texas. That's something we want to look out for. So let's look at the NAM and see what it says. I would assume it would be on board with the rest of these models. But look at it here, trying to, and this is actually, trying to just strengthen just a little bit and then weaken once again, going into areas just around Corpus Christi and things like that. So this area of Texas going to have to be an area that we're going to be on the lookout for, as you can tell. National Weather Service issuing those tropical storm watches. You can't see them on your screen right now for some of those areas. I think you can, actually. Tropical storm watches are in effect for areas of Houston. The water is tropical storm warnings entering the water area of Texas, I believe. So we're getting closer to the waters of Texas. So you have those tropical storm warnings. Tropical storm warnings in effect. They're starting to expire for areas of Florida that are already done expiring, I think. But as you can see, special weather statement here. Gusty showers and thunderstorms. This was a tropical weather statement. You can't see it on your screen, but tropical weather statement is in effect here. But look at those flood threats that's happening here. We have a lot of flood going on. We have a special marine warning that's in effect there. But look at all of this flood. Flood watches are in effect for areas of northwest Georgia and to almost the entirety. I think that's almost literally the entirety of North Carolina, except for these two counties right here. Everybody else, a flood watch is in effect. Flood warning or flood advisory, flash flood warning in effect for areas of southern Virginia, that's south of Roanoke. That's something we got to watch out for there. Areas of eastern Tennessee into northeastern Alabama. Flood watches as well. Flood watches are going to be in effect for areas of the west as well. Let's not forget about that, as well as flood watches are in effect for the Delmarva region. Red flag warnings and extreme heat warnings are in effect for areas of the western part of the United States. Something we got to look out for. Going to be a lot to deal with as we get to severe weather. Now let's look at the Storm Prediction Center. We're having a marginal risk that's in effect for areas of the upstate of South Carolina and North Carolina, Virginia, the Delmarva region. Tornado threat going to be still amongst eastern North Carolina. That's today, by the way, as we get into our wind threat. Same areas that have been dealing with that category. Let's move around the areas of the country, and as you can see there, we do have a tornado threat that's in effect for Maine. Wind threat going to be a problem in Maine and areas of Oregon into areas near Denver. Wind threat, hail threat going to be in the northeast and going to be in the Oregon area. But as we get to the Carolinas, here's a look at our marginal risk. We are not having any severe weather threat. I think we said we're not going to have any severe weather threat. We're going to have a marginal risk. It's going to be southeast of Denver, so that's been a change now. Tornado threat, nothing to worry about. Wind threat going to be that area, though, and hail threat. So that's all of that information could change as we get into our day 3. That'll be our Friday. Shower and thunderstorm activity going to be a marginal risk in the northern sections of the country. Probabilistic going to be those same areas relatively that are dealing with that severe weather. Fire weather outlook for today, not going to be anything good. We're going to have an elevated fire weather outlook for areas that are going to be in the northwest portions of the country. Critical fire danger going to be in effect for your day 3 into your day 4. And day 5, we finally start to clear out. If that were the possibility there, as we could see some changes that happen along areas of the forecast and things like that. So we want to make sure we watch out for things like that. We're watching and getting through all of the tropical development and things of that nature. So watching out for those fires, watching out for that flooding, and watching out for this tropical storm. Tropical storm Bertha has been having some questions lately. I mean, it's just questions constantly on what the storm could do. Like I said, right now we're seeing it. We're going to have an 8 p.m. update. 2 a.m. is expected to roll on out of Louisiana at this point if it decides to take that northerly track and stay on land. Climate Prediction Center, it's going to be areas in the southern and western areas going to be above average temperatures into below average temperatures in the northeast. For a tropical storm, we're going to map this out here. High pressure, once again, we have that Bermuda high that's to the east. But really, this high pressure carrying it down this way, this storm's going to be moving in this direction like this. And I genuinely think that high pressure is probably what's going to cause it to dip back down, but I could be wrong. That high pressure bringing those winds down in that direction like that. Plus, we have that front, which I'm pretty sure, if I'm not mistaken, is moving showers and thunderstorms like that. So many possibilities on the table, something we got to look out for. The potential for a hurricane is there. I do want to say that. Probably a low potential, but models are increasing on this going back into the water, maybe re-strengthening for a second and then weakening. If it is able to keep that strength, it'll probably turn into a hurricane, high-end tropical storm, and things like that of that nature. My name is Michael. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Here to give you an update on the latest on what's going on out there. Make sure to leave comments if you have any questions and concerns. Subscribe to the channel. We're going to continue to keep growing this, and I'll see you out there in the weather community.